Good morning, y'all. I fixed to decorate my buffet for Thanksgiving. Have my food all on it. But before I start, I want you to see this, how cute. Y'all are so creative. This is made out of, I guess, the front of a man's blue jeans. And then they took this and did that and tied it in the back and put little stuff around it. I never ceased to be amazed. Y'all are so creative. All right, y'all, listen. Years and years and years ago, I had a little one of those little saws, like a table saw. It was a band saw, went up and down like that. And I made some little Thanksgiving things, and I've kept them all these years. These are probably at least 30 years, if not more, old, okay? I made a little teepee and the Indians. And I remember thinking about the first Thanksgiving and thinking how special that must have been. I made a little table. I'm going to set this up today. And here's a mama Indian with her little papoose. Isn't that darling? It was so much fun to do. And here are my pilgrims. I don't know if they really dress like this, but that's what all the books show. So I made some little pilgrims. And let's see what else I made. I just got this out of the yard. I thought it was pretty as a piece of wood. And I like to decorate with some natural stuff. Here was my little turkey that I made to sit amongst them. And I cut out a circle of wood just to use. And another table. And another piece of wood. All right, now then. So let me show you what I'm going to do. On my buffet, and I just keep these in a paper sack, a plastic sack, and then when Thanksgiving comes around, I drag these out, and I drag my plates that I showed y'all the other day that the children painted. And so, anyway, let's set this up, and let me get one more thing. Let me go in here. Also, I want to show y'all this. This is brown cotton. A guy sent me this. They grow it in their state. I want to think he was from Louisiana. I can't remember now. But it's called brown cotton. And this is what they make out of it. They sent me these. They're brown. And I love them. And so today I'm going to use one of these. See there how pretty it is? I'm going to use one of these to go down for my little display to sit on. I think it'll be just appropriate. So let's turn around this way, y'all. This isn't, it's not beautiful, but my kids love to see it every year because they're so used to it. So I'm going to turn it around like this. This is my buffet. And I am just going to spread this out right here at the back of it because people can't reach food back here anyway. And I'm going to put that right there. And I think that'll be a good backdrop for our little things that we're going to put on it. All right, I'm going to put a little teepee, maybe sit him right there. And put a little Indian couple over here together, the man and his wife. Let's see what else we can do. Let's put another little Indian over here holding her baby. And let's put a couple of pilgrims out. Maybe they could be back here. Every year is different. I just put some stuff out, and then the kids come in, they move it around and whatever. So anyway, we're going to do that. Are y'all too tall, really, to see that little part, aren't you? Let's see if I sit you down. Yeah, I think that'll be better. Y'all get off of the belt, get off of that box for a while. Let's see if I can fix you right here. Now then, let's see if that's good. Okay. Let's decorate down. Here's another little Indian man. I guess he'll go with this one. I used to have two more pilgrims, but through the years I lost them. I don't know what I did with them. All right, there's their little table. Maybe we could put a table over here, and let's get a piece of wood. Maybe this little Indian is standing on some wood, or maybe a turkey will be on the wood. I don't know. Maybe feels like he's. Let me put that back there. That's not going to stand up good. And let's see if we could put a turkey maybe over here with these. All right. Got your little wood out there. All right. So here's another turkey. All right. Now here's something I did. And here's another teepee I did too. Let me put it back here somewhere like that's their little village. Okay. All right, so here's my little table, and let me show you something. You remember the other day when I was talking to you about hickory nuts? Well, that shell that's on the hickory nut makes a perfect little bowl for our table. And so what I do is I have some little things that I put in a plastic baggie that I save every year that I made. And one of the things that I made is I took some old fabric I had and frayed the ends of it. And I usually put that down like a little rug, like they had a rug out there. So maybe the Indian made the rug or whatever. So I put that there. I'm going to put a little bowl on the table. See, it works perfectly for that. And maybe put another piece of wood kind of close to it like that. And I have a little basket that I like to collect these tiny little, well, actually what they are is, I guess they went in doll houses, little tiny things like this. And so I collect those for my little decorating. All right, let's put us a basket out. Maybe this little lady's got a basket right here that they've made. Here's a couple of more bowls. I've got a little plate. And look at this tiny little spoon I've got, y'all. Look at that. You see that? Look at that. Little tiny spoon. I'm going to put it in the bowl. Like that. All right, so then I've got this little piece of fabric that I saved from years ago, and I like to put it on the table, like play like that there's something there. And I've got a plate, a little bitty plate. We'll put it up there. All right, so what I'm going, and I've got another table. We'll sit it back here somewhere. All right. Now, what I did this morning is I went out and I got leaves off the ground. Now, I will have to change these out before Thanksgiving Day because they'll crumple up. And most of the time on Thanksgiving morning, I run outside and get some fresh fall leaves. But today I got these. This is a maple tree that's in my yard. Isn't that pretty? We're going to put that out maybe right here to kind of soften that. You want to kind of soften it with something real. Y'all don't go out and buy a bunch of fake leaves when you've got leaves in your yard. All right, here's some more maple I'm going to put out. I'll put some right back here and maybe over here. And then I've got some really big leaves. Now these are, do y'all remember your mama ever talking about sweet shrub? It has a little purple bloom on it in the late summer, and it smells so sweet, and they call it sweet shrub. Well, here are the leaves from it, and they turn yellow in the fall. So I'm going to put these maybe back here somewhere. I'll show you in just a minute. Let me see what I can do. All right, y'all turn around here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm kind of trying to put these kind of in the background a little bit. Right there, kind of gently, maybe right there. And here's some more sweet shrub right here. Let's put this back here. And then here's another leaf. We'll put him right there. All right, here are some big leaves. These are hickory leaves, hickory tree that I picked this morning. They're beautiful to me. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You can't beat God's creation. You can go buy whatever you want to, but it will not be as pretty as what the Lord makes for us. He supplies all our decorating stuff. He said, why are y'all buying that? I made it for you to decorate with and to enjoy. What's happening back there? Stand up, TP. There we go. Get back up, turkey. All right, so what you want to do is just put a few leaves around it. This is to soften how it looks, okay? Because you don't want it looking hard. You want it looking natural and fresh and all that kind of stuff. All right, so I've got a few more things I'm going to put out. I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, another thing y'all can do, y'all, is go outside, which I just went outside real quick while I had you on hold. And I got some stuff. All right, here's some things I got. My holly berries had a few red berries on it. And this is that old privet hedge that everybody hates. Well, I got some of those berries. And then I got those huckleberries still from the other day. Whoop! And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put these in some of the little plates and platters to make it look like that they've got food, okay? So you'll want to do that too, and let the kids go out if they're there with you to help. And if you have some little things to put on the tables, that'll be good, like the little hickory nut shell or something you could use for a play, like they had a little bowl. And somebody gave me this tiny little pitcher, and so I thought I'd put it on one of the tables. Maybe the Pilgrims brought it over with them. Who knows? And I've got some other little things, a little plate, a little bitty plate. So let's put some of our stuff out on our tables and make it look like that they are. Let me see if I got y'all set up good here. No, I don't. Let me move you over this way a little bit. There we go. All right, so let's take our berries and let's let these that are on the things like this maybe be laying beside that piece of wood like they're going to use it. Let's take our red ones and put in maybe this bowl right here. Let's put them in the shell, and it makes it look like that it's full of some little something for them to eat. I tell you what would be pretty in here is some dried corn, which somebody sent me some of that, but I got it decorating outside with that. Okay, there we go. That teepee sure couldn't go through a hurricane, I can tell you that. Once I get, whoo! I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to let him lean up against the mirror right there. That'll be good. Stand up there, Indian. What do you think this is? All right, here we go. Now let's take some of our little huckleberries, maybe, and put in this plate to make it look like some little food over here. See, it just makes it actually come to life. And we'll strip some of these green ones off and put in this bowl. You'd be surprised what you can find outside to decorate with. All right, we got that, and I put that little rug right there. Here's another thing from the brown cotton people that they sent me. That's pretty. All right, we're going to put our little thing right there. Our little, let me go back. I've got one more thing I want to show you. This is an old-timey little iron pot, and I love this thing. Look at that. Isn't that precious? I'm going to put that on the ground over here and play like that the Pilgrims brought this with them to cook with the Indians, okay? Let's put it over here. Let's find us a spot. What could we do with this? I think, oh, I know what I did one time. I know what I did. Let me do it now. I forgot about how I did it last time. I took the ends of these things and broke them off. I'll have to cut it off. And I played like it was firewood. That's what I did. I couldn't remember what I did last time. But I remember now. All right. So we're going to take these and cut them up and play like that it is firewood. That they're building a fire to make a pot of soup or something, okay? So turn back around here and let's fix it like I remember. I forgot what I did. All right, so we're going to have us a little fire right here. So put your little wood out like that. Take your black pot. And I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Just wait on me. Your children will like this. I remember now what I did. I put water in my black pot. See there, a little bit of water. And you sit it right here to play like that they are fixing to make a big stew. Maybe it's a turkey soup. All right, so let's look at what we've done. I've got a few more things I could put on the table. Let's put this picture on the table. Let's put it right back here. That'll be so pretty. So the Pilgrims and the Indians, maybe they went together. The Indians made a lot of pottery, so I'm going to pretend that this is some pottery that the Indians made. We'll put it over here, right in there, and we're going to look at this thing in just a second. And maybe the Indians made that little pot. We'll put it right here, and maybe they made a cup. We're pretending. We're pretending. Y'all, when I was little, I'd rather build me a playhouse than anything I need to do. I'd get in those woods and I'd build me a playhouse and a fort or whatever. And look at this platter I've got. Look at that. Isn't that cute? I think I'll have to sit it on the ground, though. It's so big. I don't think I'll use it this year. Okay, we're done. Now then, I want you to look at what we've got. Okay, let me take out your stand and look at it really good. All right, so here it is. Can you see that? That's what we've got. We've got just teepees and pilgrims, and I wish that thing would stand up. I need to make me a little thing in the back to hold it up. And we've got all kinds of little stuff. The mama, I made that little papoose a few years ago. Her little thing she carries in. There's our table. Another table. And our fire. We could make some little play fire in there out of paper, I guess, or some kind of paper. All right. Now, my children, if I don't have this out, they say, where are the pilgrims? Where are the Indians? And I think about how they came together and how they celebrated Thanksgiving and how special that was. And we're still doing that today. We're gathering with friends and family and people we love, and we are having Thanksgiving together. And so when you fix up your house for Thanksgiving, have it warm and cozy. You do not have to go to town and buy some stuff. God has provided everything you need. You've got leaves, you've got nuts and berries and all kinds of stuff outside. And if you have to, if you don't have a saw to make to make a wooden things, make them out of cardboard. Let the kids paint the pilgrims and Indians. And you'll be so proud of it. As a matter of fact, let me take you out here a second. Somebody a while back sent Banks something to do. And just so happened that she was sick. And they sent her 2 little wooden Indian things, and they were not painted. And I carried them over to her house. The paint came with them. And she wasn't feeling good, and she was bored because she couldn't go anywhere because she's sick. And so I carried her those. And I said, here, darling, paint these. Somebody sent them to you. And she did. And what I did is, part of my other Thanksgiving decoration is some people made me some pumpkins. I put that in there. Lord, there's something I need to eat. That's a avocado I need to eat. But anyway, I've got them sitting in here in my den, along with some nuts and things. And this is, gosh, what do you call this? I can't even think of it. I got a shrub of it, and I just picked one little thing of it and put it in there for decoration. So times are hard, times are tough, but you can decorate for Thanksgiving and just be able to put a smile on somebody's face when they walk in, and they can think, oh, she did this for me. And we did. We did it for them, y'all, so that we can just celebrate together and just have a good time together. So gather around your table and linger there, like my book says. Linger around the table, y'all, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I just did this ahead of time and for you so you could get some ideas and all along with our food that we're fixing. Love you. Bye-bye.